like all this stuff, like the sun and all of this good stuff. But what's also good, what also makes it grow, the rain, right? So even when it's out there, the rain still makes it grow. It's just how you, right? So you need those experiences to learn and grow into the positive.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Dads on Purpose, the podcast. I'm your host, Josh Ashford, man. And as always, got the big homie KB, Mr. Kevin Brigance. How you doing, bro?
What's up, baby? It's always good to be here on Dads on Purpose podcast. As always, with the energy. Let's go.
I love it. Yo, I really think you got, I think you found your match with Sara Schroder. I don't know if she's gonna come with the vibes, but we have the queen of energy, the queen of pep, Mrs. Texas Tech, Miss Cheerleader. She's not a cheerleader, but I don't care. But yo, Sara Schroder, how are you doing?
I am fabulous. Woo! I'm cheering up and down. I'm doing that too. No, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's do this. I'm really excited.
Yo, KB, I don't know if I don't know if you know this, but and I don't even know if this is her word, but her word is Awesomesauce.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah, I hate it, but it's her word. I mean, because so
many people hate it. Do you know that's actually a lot of people hate it, and it makes I don't know. I just love it. It's my word. It's my.
No, I know you. It's your word, and it's awesome, and I use it to describe you. But I
hate it. So.
People are like, oh, how are you doing? I'm Awesomesauce. I can't do that. That's not me. That's not my swag.
You gotta have your own swag.
You know, I'm like, yo, that's a bet. Whatever.
That's a bet. I know what that means now. So that's a bet too, right?
Yo, for everybody that doesn't understand, that's an inside joke between the three of us. So I was confirming with Sarah that we were doing this podcast today. And she was like, yeah, she's like, I'll be there. And I texted her back and I was like, that's a bet. And she was like, a bet? Question mark? And I was like, your boy had to go to urbandictionary.com, screenshot that joint, and send it to her. But now we're on the same page.
Now we're on the same page.
Now we all here.
I'm cool. Yep.
We're on one accord.
Tonight's episode. Yo, look, the Lord is awesome. And he knew exactly I needed this podcast tonight. Because here's what I want to talk about. Again, Sarah's the queen of Awesomesauce. I don't think I've ever seen her down. That's not true. I've been led into the world, so I've seen her not happy before. But for the most part, she's pretty much positive, mental, all that stuff, affirmations, yada, 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 yada. And I'm not saying yada to brush it off. I'm just saying y'all get what she does. Yeah. But today, my 2-year-old was being a 2-year-old, and if you never had a 2-year-old, all that means is that she was just crying nonstop for absolutely no reason. I'm sure there was.
Though? Wait, Josh, don't you do that every day too?
Yeah, but I get paid to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
She's not getting paid. I mean, if y'all want to give her a job, I'll happily take it. No. So here's the thing. So she got home from daycare, everything was good. As soon as we got to the dinner table, and literally this went on for an hour and a half. It went to the point where I was just laughing. I was like, this is so stupid. What is going on? And it physically drained me. Then I tried to give her a bath, and I was just I almost found myself being upset that whatever was going on with her was going on with her. And so I kind of want to pose this question to you guys. How do you stay positive when you really don't feel like it? How do you stay positive when you really don't feel like it? Because we were playing, we were having a good time. We were outside. She got the little motorized unicorn. She's riding that joint, having a good time. As soon as we get in the house, I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna be good. No, we're not. So it took me a while, and I'm really patient. Hasn't always been my virtue, but the Lord is blessing me and He's working on me, and I'm getting better at it. But after an hour, I was just I was kind of to the point where I'm just what's going on? And so how do y'all stay in it? So, Kev, I know you got Kendall, she's 12 or 13. And then Sarah, you got the bonus daughter. She's 12. And so I'm sure they work your nerves. I'm sure your spouses work your nerves. I'm sure your coworkers work your nerves. So how do y'all stay positive when you don't want to? That's where we're starting off.
Well, first and foremost, just real quick, easy answer is you keep her on the motorized unicorn.
She wanted to get off.
What? Motorized unicorn. Like, I feel like I need one of these because that's also one of my things. Part of my vibe. So I need my own motorized unicorn. But anyway, no, Kev, if you want to start on this, I just wanted to emphasize.
I think what we have to do is we have to develop a positive growth mindset. Like, positivity is not something that you just have. It's a mindset. It's a place that you have to be. And a lot of times I feel that a lot of times we're not in a positive growth area is because we're not taking care of ourselves. We're not happy ourselves. We're not comfortable ourselves. We're tired ourselves, you know? And because of that, it's hard for us to be positive in situations that are coming our way or that we're involved in. For instance, I've transferred Sarah to working into the educational field as an assistant, right? But what I do know is that a lot of these teachers are dealing with COVID-19. A lot of these teachers have lost family members. A lot of these teachers, and then you put that on top of coming to work and having to wear a face mask, coming to work, and so now you're unhealthy. So how can you be positive with students? And then how can you be positive at home? And so until we start developing a positive growth mindset is when we can really start focusing on being positive in hard times, because then now you have something to pull from. I said positive growth mindset. So it's like a garden. You plant some positivity, you water it, you plant some you know, on sunny days you just go sit and look at it, just like, oh, look how beautiful my garden is. You know what I mean? And then when you're in really dark times, you can go and start picking flowers to remind you of where the positivity comes from. I come to work because of this goal. I love my kid because of this. You know, I'm in the relationship with my spouse because of this. And so you have to like make a garden of positivity and let it grow, because there's going to be times where you need to have a place to go. Does it make sense? And so I have something like that. I'm looking right now at my closet, and I have a place in my closet where I have notes from other people. I have words of encouragement from other people. And so when I'm feeling down, when I feel like all of the work that I'm doing is not being worthwhile, I go back and I look at all of the other people that I've been able to touch and affect over the years.
Yeah, I'm so immature. Like, you said life's a garden. I was like, dig it. I was going back to play dirt. And then you said let it grow, and I thought let it go. Okay.
But that's perfect, because you can let it go, right?
Wow,
Quite literally, you can let it go, because it's totally up to you. You have the power of choice the entire time. And to go off of the garden metaphor really quickly, I love that. And it's not just like when it's sunny, it's so beautiful, but also noting that when it is, you know, like dark and gloomy, or she's throwing a tantrum, the sun is still there. So while it's going on, you can, you know, choose like, okay, here's what's happening. What am I experiencing? How can I learn from this? How can I move on with this in a way that's going to be good for her and for me too, to learn. And the garden too, like it's so easy. You know, people think like you can plant whatever you want to, and then it's how you take care of it, right? The positive growth. And people laugh at that. It's so funny that you're laughing at that.
No, that's good.
It's like, it's this weird, crazy thing, but no, it's really like, what are you cultivating for yourself?
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, what are you saying to yourself in the morning? You know, are there affirmations, or do you wake up and read your notebook, write down affirmations all, you know, as soon as you wake up? Because it starts the second you wake up, you get to choose the thoughts. And then the second something happens, I do feel like you can experience it and be like, okay, I don't have any patience right now, or things happening right now. Recognize that you're a human, right? And then but then say, okay, but what do I want to choose to experience instead? And then go to that vision, that that affirmation, that like the belief of who you are as a father, as a mother, as anybody. Like, who are you and what do you really love? And just tap into that.
How do you teach that to your kids, though?
I'm sorry.
I said, how do you teach that to your kids? Because that's the next thing. Because both of you guys have daughters and they're 12, and so I'm like, I know though that mentality starts being instilled early, and so she's 2. I get it. She's just starting to realize that she has emotions and she doesn't know how to process them. I understand that.
But you just you just said it right there. She's like experiencing this whole new world in her life. You get it. So you get to help her like understand that. So when she's having a tantrum, it's not because she's so upset. She just doesn't know she's feeling
how to communicate.
This. Yeah. So you've got to communicate with her like, hey, so and so it's a 2-year-old, but like, how can you?
Well, and I'm just using my daughter, but I also want to relate this to kids and to work and to everything because, like, I feel like this whole thing is universal.
I think we got to have the tools, right? We got to have some tools in order for us. Like, you can't just plant seeds. You got to have a hoe. You got to have a rake. You got to have a shovel. You got to have, there's so much that you need in order for you to plant a garden. And so we have to have tools. For me, the case for a kid, when I had the tool, love and logic. When you throw a tantrum, hey, listen, I'm sorry right now you're not in a place to communicate. Go to your room, and when you're ready to come back out and talk, come out and talk. But while you're doing this, you're disturbing the whole house, and we can't have this. This is my positive space. This is my garden. This is, and so what we expect in my area is for us to be able to communicate. And so when you're ready to communicate, when you're ready to talk, come in here and talk, because we'll love to talk to you. That was love and logic, right? So we were in the middle of Walmart. She throws a tantrum. Love and logic say, just leave her there. Everybody's looking like, whose kid is throwing a tantrum? And love and logic say, hey, I'm willing to take her home and take care of her. Just let her be, right? And so that we have to help. It's just like I'm a part of a social media club. I'm part of a clubhouse, and they're talking about social media, and we're forgetting how much control we have to set boundaries. We're there to help them. And if they can't handle these things, then we're here to guide them. And so it's okay for them to throw a tantrum. Why are we sweating? Why are we, like, throw your tantrum? When you done, come back and holler at me. The same thing at your job. You have toxic people coming into your garden every day, stealing your rose, stealing your flowers, and you gotta close the gate. You're not welcome here. Like, we have to be able to control our atmosphere. When I walk into your presence, I don't care how you feel. What you gonna get? What's up, sis? How you doing? What's up, bro? You good? Because that's the atmosphere that I want to portray when I am present. And if it is a bad thing, we can pull that to the side. Yo, what's up? How you feeling? Let's dig through this thing. But that's just who I am as an individual. So I am able to calm down and know that, hey, let me set the atmosphere. Come to my garden. Like, I see your garden. You need, let me tell you what, you need some fertilizer. You know what I mean? You need a little bit of water. You know what I mean? And so we have to look at that in each one of our relationships, because we have to recognize that we're visiting other people. We're taking soil, seeds, and depositing it into our garden from visiting other people. That's all. I'm going to shut up. I'm done.
Folks out here being squirrels, just digging up their yards. And if y'all don't follow me on Instagram or on Snapchat, you would understand that. So I have squirrels that literally tear up my entire yard every day. And like, it's just nonstop. My wife says I'm a grumpy old man because I yell at them to get out my yard. But to go with the gardening analogy, it's like, like, people are literally like running into other people's yards and just like digging holes and poking holes and like ruining other people's garden. I don't know how do we get on this gardening subject? I was gardening today, but no, Sarah, you said you were about to say something and I interjected. My bad.
Oh, well, Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I got something for you, Sarah. I really want you to dive into affirmations for us because you said it a couple of times about like waking up with affirmations, going throughout your day with affirmations. So a lot of I know me being on Clubhouse, I'm hearing all this talk in all these rooms with affirmations, and I've worked with affirmations myself. But for our listeners, for our dads that's listening that have not experienced or have not done any work with affirmations, give us some kind of insight how you use affirmations, how we can use affirmations to help us be better dads, to help us go be better gardeners.
Yes. Yeah. Use the tools. Absolutely. So it really is just about what works best for you. But what I really love is when you wake up in the morning, you have just 3 or 5 sentences that really fuel your vision and your goal. And these are things that you're not just saying, but you have a belief in them. Like they mean something to you and they show you how you want to live in your day, like who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you have in the day. So it's not just about like, people go out and say, oh, say all these affirmations. No, it's got to be something that's like in your heart. So we probably all 3 have different affirmations. And a lot of the times it starts out with I am, which is such a powerful phrase in and of itself. And I love those, but you can create things such as like, I love this, or I feel this, or I experience this kind of thing. So you just want to make something that's going to work for you. And you can create affirmations that like based on whatever season you're in or whatever you're going through. So if that's like a self-love affirmation, or if it's an affirmation about the abundance that's out there in terms of wealth or relationships or being a good father, that kind of thing. Like, so for the fathers, well, for really anybody, like, who do you want to be? Like, look into your core and then create an affirmation based on that. I want to be the best father. Cool. What is the best father for you? Because it's different for everybody. And then you make it something, and then you're like, it doesn't matter what you said, like, tantrum or they're happy, whatever, like, how to be the best father and communicate in that situation. And I'm just a big advocate of it happening in the morning, but also something I personally recently started doing is at night too. I have 5 affirmations, and I like to write things down. So I have my books everywhere, but so I write down the affirmations like 10 times per, sometimes less, sometimes more, but per affirmation. So then as you're going to sleep, if there is any like stress or just things on your mind, or if you're tired, you're not going to bed like, I'm so tired and I have to wake up tomorrow. Bed with, again, the vision of who you are, what you want to do, what you want to have. And
you write them 10 times?
I do. I know. It's
right.
Wow.
She's out here writing standards before she goes to bed.
I know. but it really does, though. And the more you can feed your subconscious mind, like these affirmations, the more it's just going to stick with you. And then you wake up and you know exactly what you're going to do, and things are going to come at you. There's going to be rain. There's going to be crap. There's going to be stuff, but you can understand how to navigate through that. And that's a really big thing.
Man, you said something really, really good there. To feed your subconscious mind. So many men, subconscious mind is filled with how lazy they are, how worthless they are, how horrible of a person they are, how not smart they are. And that's what really stuck with me, is just that subconsciously, not just what you've experienced on the outside, but what you've experienced as a kid subconsciously. And now we're replacing that with, I am going to be the best father, and this is what I believe in, and this is what. So that was one of the things that I just wanted to make sure we highlighted, was these affirmations these aren't just words. These aren't just things that we're saying. We're feeding our subconscious mind to replace all that negative energy, all that negative things that we've been fed, even when we're watching the news, right? Because what we see looks like us. Does that make sense? And what we see, that still subconsciously penetrates our brain. So having these great affirmations, man, thank you, Sarah, so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, check this out. Did you know that 80% of our decisions are made at the subconscious level?
did know that. Yes. Yep. But you can feed your subconscious mind anything. It just takes what it's given. So again, like the garden, what are you going to give it? Are you going to give it affirmations, or are you going to give it, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that? And like another way to look at it, we're so used to saying like, I can't do this, or I don't want to, or I'm tired, I'm grumpy. It's just as easy to say that feel it in the moment, but then it's just as easy to turn around and say, I have an abundance of energy. And even if you don't, like, saying it does something to your subconscious. So then it's like, wait a second, what do you mean? And so then you start thinking about energy. Okay, where does this energy, where is it going to go? Like, what's it going to do? Or like, I can't do this. I can't be a good father because she's always throwing a temper tantrum. No, that's wrong. What if you thought about the other side, and it's like, what if you can be a good father and figure out how you can cultivate like more communication, or more this and more like something that's going to help not only you grow, but then your son or daughter or whomever grow too, or in the workplace, or like it's just literally about like, what do you want to choose? What do you want to put in your subconscious mind? And then you get to put it there, and it's going to feed off of that. That's the seeds.
I love that.
Or whatever. Yeah, that's the seed that's going to grow. I'm like, what is it, gardening?
It's like
The water and the fertilizer. And all that
the
stuff.
soil and the photosynthesis and anyway.
But here's a good point. I just thought of this. This is exciting. So like all this stuff, like the sun and all of this good stuff, but what's also good, what also makes it grow, the rain, right? So even when it's out there, the rain still makes it grow. It's just how you, right? So you need those experiences to learn and grow into the positive. Mic drop. Boom.
Mic drop.
No, we're only 20 minutes in. I'm not going to end the podcast 20 minutes. But listen, no. But listen, so last week I said, who do we have on last week, Kev? Who do we have on last week?
Aisha.
Yeah, we had on Aisha. And Aisha, I remember I said this. I said, every time that we have women on the show, we get to the bag real early. Like, the women get to the bag real early and just start dropping bombs and like just everything. I was like, okay, so now we gotta have more women on the show, because obviously, shout out to all the dudes that's been on the podcast. Love you guys. You've been fantastic. But there's something about a woman and way with words. Real, but you know what? I'm listening to this book right now. I can't remember the name of it. It's on my phone. But there's a saying in there. God, I need to look at it because I don't know the name of it. But it's how Navy SEALs lead and something, I don't know. Anyways, but one of the phrases they talk about that's really important that like kind of resonates with all of this is like, there's no bad teams, only bad leaders.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything we're talking about right now is how we cultivate good leaders, and not just leaders like you leading a team or something, but like you got to recognize that like you got to lead yourself too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is just it's just all bringing it full circle with the gardening and with the book and the toddler and all of this stuff. And like I just, all I'm saying is that I love the way that this came together, because it's just kind of like a beautiful
But I think now that I don't know why I'm on this whole gardening thing, but it's springtime, baby. Like,
it is.
Come on, y'all.
Hey, come dig up my weeds, though, bro.
Flowers, like
come dig up my weeds.
But watch this. I like what you're saying, Josh, because that's the problem. Like, that's why we don't have a lot of gardeners, because they don't want to pull up the weeds. They don't want to go make sure that they have the flowers protected when it's cold. They don't want, it takes work. It takes, you bent down over that garden thing, your back is going to be hurt. Your knees are going to be sore. You're going to start deciding to wear gloves, even though you're a man. You don't want the dirt in your fingers. You know what I mean? Like it takes time. And watch, even for a person who has a home, who wants a green grass, there's a certain time when you need to fertilize. And guess what? Your neighbor knows exactly when that fertilizer needs to go down. So as a gardener, I need to go over and holler at my neighbor. But for many of us as men, we can't do that. It's something we know we need help. We know we need some support. We know we need to, in order for us to get these weeds out of our lawn, in order for our grass to turn green, we need to be able to say, hey, neighbor, come in, let me come over there and have a drink. Listen, I've been trying to get my grass to grow green, but I'm missing it, man. What do I need to do without being offended? Does it make sense? Positivity is, we don't talk about constructive criticism enough. We need to talk more about constructive criticism. It's not that I'm criticizing you to hurt you or pull you down, but I want you to know what I'm about to give you, some information that I'm about to share with you, and so you can have a rose bush full of roses. You know what I mean? And so it's hard for us to cultivate others who don't want to be cultivated or who don't know how to ask for cultivation. And the reason why I say that, I'm dealing with it now. I think my kid is the most brilliant person in the world, but she will not speak up. She will not ask for help. She will not. And I started thinking I was the same way. I wanted to learn on my own. I wanted to go through the experience on my own. So we have to, in order to cultivate more of this leadership, we have to just start showing people what the grass on the other side really look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really good.
Like, seriously, we don't talk about the positive. Every time you talk about grass on the other side of the fence, we don't talk about the beautifulness. We talk about, when you get over there, they go pull the, carpet from under you. We talk about the bad.
You know what it sounds like, Kev?
Yeah.
It sounds like people need life coaches.
Weird.
And I wonder if there's somebody that we know.
Man, I'm like bursting at the seams, like, oh my God. That would be me. I do get really excited, but that's the thing about it is like having someone help you, because sometimes you are a little stuck and you're not really sure. You go over and you immediately go to something that is negative, or you get in that, you just need somebody to help you and be like, okay, let's talk about that. But let's what are a few good positive things? Like, tell me one positive thing. And they'll ho and hum and I don't know. And then they'll come up with something. And then from that, you can keep giving more. So then it starts with positive things. And then you can say, okay, this works really well. This doesn't work well. No big deal. So what can we do differently in the future? And then you have a roadmap to take action that you created for yourself. You just had to get out of your own way and have somebody kind of help you see how, well, your grass is really green. How do I get mine greener? Oh, that I am doing this right. I need to do this better. Boom. I have a plan. I can go do it. And then guess what? I can go back and see what worked. And then it just keeps going. What worked, what didn't, how can I do this on? And in business, in life, it's the same thing. It's so cool. There's a little thing that you can do every day. And that's another big thing though. That's the thing, is that some people think this action, whatever you're doing to be better at something has to be this huge, big thing. And then you blast it all over everywhere. Oh, I did this great thing. No. It can be one little thing, maybe going to the neighbor's house and setting that coffee date or that margarita date. That's step, and then you can go do it. And so it's little things to do. And another thing is always celebrating when something good does happen. So when you see that little sprout come up, if we're doing that, when you see the little sprout come up, okay. But when it does, and you're so excited, as the gardener, you're oh my gosh, look at that. It's this little thing. You don't even know what it is. It's the sprout to this oak tree or a rose bush or whatever you're planting.
Yeah.
And it's cool, this one little thing. And then you keep tending to it. And here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Cool. And just and then it turns into this big thing. And then you go from one tree to 8 million trees, or one rose to 8 million rose bushes.
Yeah. I like to celebrate the little things. I like to celebrate the little sprout, because I think oftentimes we as men would have someone come and celebrate something. We're like, oh, man, that's what you're supposed to do. But we need to really start celebrating those things because that person may have never, thought they could achieve whatever that achievement was as a man, if that makes sense. We might not see it as a huge achievement, but that could be a huge achievement. Even though we see it as small, that could be a huge achievement for that individual. So I like that. And we have to, regardless of what we think other people would think, if we think it's an achievement that we made, we should celebrate that somehow, some way. Josh, you have something, bro?
No, man, I was just, I'm kind of elated how much gardening resonates to life. And I really am. And because here's the thing. And so like Sarah was talking about, that thing sprouts up and you don't know what it is. And so you just keep tending to it. And I'm just thinking to earlier today, again, I was gardening and I haven't been watering my plants or anything like that because it's been raining. I was like, oh, they're good. But here's the thing that people don't realize is that I didn't plant those plants. I moved into this house and they were already in the ground. And so I just started watering them. And as I'm watering them, I realized, okay, they like water every this many days. And so I kind of just left them alone. I was just like, okay, you're going to do your thing by yourself. I don't know what kind of plants they are. But as a gardener, I'm getting excited because I'm looking at them like, oh, it's growing, it's growing. But then I neglected it for like a week. And now it's starting to turn brown and they're starting to wilt. And I'm like, yo, that's the same thing in life.
Yeah.
There may have been something that somebody set up for you, some position somebody put you in life or something like that you didn't necessarily choose, but you were like, you know what, I'm gonna make the best of this situation. And you started working on, and then you like, oh man, this is on autopilot. I don't gotta work it anymore. Maybe it's in sales. So you're just like, oh, I don't gotta do it anymore. Like this is nothing. I'm gonna leave it alone. But then you come back and you realize you lost some of your biggest accounts.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you're like, what do I need to do? Or maybe your marriage, like, oh, you were dating your wife, and you're like, oh, it's good. I'm getting it on the regular. We having a good time. But then you stop taking her out for 2 months, and now she's talking about, oh, I'm gonna be late, or I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go hang out with the girls all night. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, it's just crazy how like gardening relates to everything in life, and I'm just mind blown. And I wish. Like, my hope is that this episode just goes viral, not even on some like, oh, look at our numbers type of stuff. But I'm like, yo, if people just really grasp the concept that we're trying to talk about right now.
Yep. You get to either plant the seed or you get to take care of the seed. And so one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Earl Nightingale, and it's about success, but you can so the quote is, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I love to break that down because, okay, success, if you want to be a good dad, if you want to be good in sales, if you want to be good in your relationship, that's the success.
Yeah.
The worthy ideal is you. Worthy ideal that's working on the success, and it's a progressive realization. We're just working with it every day, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't.
That's good.
The fertilizer, the whatever, like weeding stuff out, all whatever you do, photosynthesis, the sun, whatever. But it's like you get to see, and even if it's something that you didn't personally start with, like it's yours right now, and you have the opportunity to choose what to do with it and how you're going to grow through your growth. You're growing something else. You're growing all these other worthy ideals and all these other successes, and it's just I love it. Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
KB, what are you about to say, man? Because I'm about to get us out of here.
Yeah, man. My last thing is gratitude. We're talking about having a positive mindset, and it's hard. It's hard. Like, y'all, I've served students for over 10 years. I've seen students do really well. I've seen students fail, and I've still seen how are we gonna save our young Black men. I've been hearing that for 10 years. Like, it's hard to wake up to something where the work that you're doing is great, but you know that there's so much more to do. So how do I get through days? Gratitude. God, thank you for the opportunity y'all froze on me. Y'all there? Okay.
You spoke on that.
Oh yeah. I see that.
but like God, thank you for the opportunity for me to serve. Thank you for me having the position that I have. Thank you for my car. Thank you for my house. Thank you for my sometimes we're not grateful for what we already have. So it's hard for us to be positive because all we thinking about is having to pay for what we have. And I'm done.
No, I love it. So, okay, going off of that real quick, I know Josh, but
no, you're good. That was me just letting Kevin know that the end is coming.
Okay. But oh my gosh, and we kind of got into it, but like trimming things, like when you have the rose bushes and doing all of that stuff, but also like it just came to me, and maybe it's been around y'all the whole time, but like the vine and the branches, right? Like we have this whole, like we have the roots and now the vine and the branches, and we get to like cultivate that and trim that and see what works and what doesn't. So gratitude, absolutely. Like I'm so grateful for this, even if it's not going to work out and I have to trim it or I have to lose this branch or I lose for whatever reason. Like
lose this branch.
God dog. She was just gonna run. She was gonna run straight past that. Even though you have to lose that branch because it's hard for us to lose stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I don't know.
You can keep going.
No,
yeah, I don't even know where he was going anymore. But
I don't know.
For y'all that's not watching on YouTube, y'all that's listening on the podcast, I just had to walk off the set. And by the set, I mean my camera. Because she said, lose this branch. Y'all don't want to lose no. I'm good.
But what if you have to, what if losing things is the greatest, you can be grateful for losing things?
Mm-hmm.
It's so, because does it hurt? Is it awful? Absolutely. And you can have that time, but then you can look forward. What does losing this branch offer up in terms of whatever, new growth, new sprouts, new things, new acorns dropping from the ground. And what about Josh going to your squirrels? Let's bring the squirrels in and be nice to them. What if you lose a branch or whatever and there's some acorns everywhere and those silly squirrels that hate your yard take the acorn, take it somewhere else and grow something for someone else. And that's still I don't know where I was going with that. In my head it made sense.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Well, watch this. Even with my gardening, and we're talking about losing stuff, sometimes we all talk about how do we cultivate new. There's a system called propagating. So you cut off a branch, you let it grow roots, then you replant it. Same tree, same everything. All you did was just multiplied it. And so sometimes losing a branch could be bad. Sometimes losing a branch could be really good because now you're taking the good, the positive, the joy that you have, and you're just planting it other places as well. So, man, this is
so good. Well, and the garden thingy. So we haven't even tapped into the rebirth of everything. And so when you lose something and it, it dies away or whatever, and then it comes back even better than before because of what you're now feeding it, this cycle is done and now it's a new season and you can keep growing and growing. That's the greatest thing about experiences is that you get to learn and some things are really great and some things aren't, but so then it's a seemingly death of one thing and then into a complete rebirth of another thing, and that's with the seasons. In every season we have to do different things to make sure the plants are good. So
I'm sitting here thinking because I like to make it plain, and so we're talking a lot in theory, we're talking about gardening, but again I like to make it plain, and I'm going back to your relationship, you put it on autopilot. You was treating it really good. And then you neglected it and it died. But then you started nurturing it again. And that rebirth and how your relationship just started to blossom, man. And now it's just you got tulips everywhere. And it's just
man.
Love it.
Sarah, where can they find your $1,000 coaching program?
They can find me on Instagram at Sara underscore Jillian underscore Schroeder, or they can find
all of that.
Okay, yes. Oh, and it is true. It is like you see it right here, but it's Sara SARA underscore JILLIAN underscore SCHROEDER. And that's the same on Facebook. And shout out to Josh, because he's going to I do have a website, but you can contact me through Facebook and Instagram best right now and sign up for programs or do a free discovery call. I'm here for you. My whole goal is to serve you and help encourage you into action, because I just want you to see how fulfilling and alive and whole you can be with whatever you're stuck in. If you're stuck, I'm here to get you out of that and just to live.
Make your garden shine.
Make your garden shine. Plant your garden, whatever you want. If you're a person, if you're a tulip person, if you're a palm tree, I don't even know. I'm just
Sarah, before we get out of here, do you have final thoughts, final words? For somebody that's just really struggling with, seeing the light, seeing the good in those situations.
Is that to me or to Kevin?
That's for you. You're first.
Oh,
Kevin,
okay, sorry. I didn't know. So if somebody's just really not seeing the light, firstly, understand what that experience is. Why are you experiencing that? If you're not, you're not really sure what to do with it, just kind of feel into that and what those feelings are. But then go into the, what if there's this other possibility? Because whatever you're experiencing, there is another side to it. And so you can think about it. And then at the end of the day, you always know that God always works for the greater good. So what is the greater good of where you are? And there's always something. If you're at a spot, there's always something, and it's just about taking that mindset and changing it to what is this one good thing that could be there.
Mm-hmm. I like that. KB, what you got, man?
Man, it's very simple. Be the light that you have to be for yourself. Whatever situation that you're in, wherever you are, you have to shine for yourself first. I think if you start shining for yourself, man, the darkness will start pushing back, because it's not going to be able to contain your, compete against your happiness. It's not going to be able to compete against your joy. It's not going to be able to compete. So turn on your light. Let your light shine, and let it shine at your workplace. Let it shine at your home. Let it shine in your relationship, and allow them to turn on their light, or they'll flee. It's going to be one or the other. So that's my word for you guys today. No matter where you are, no matter what you're in, no matter what situation you're in, turn on your light so other people can see that light and join you.
Love it.
I feel like saying, this little light of mine. I'm gonna.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. And while y'all shining on your light, man, go to tlcbrand.com, man. Teach, love, connect, man. It's a brand for fathers, by fathers. You see me with the swag on. Kevin got it on today. He was slacking, but that's cool. I still love him, man. But if you are a dad, man, and you love being a dad, just show it to the world. Wear the colors, man. Use the code DADLIFE, DADLIFE, for 20% off your first order, DADLIFE. Sarah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Loved it.
Tell Ben I said what it do. And that's it. That's all. And as my coach Val would say, says the clock on the wall. Until next week.